So yeah, old bikes. Tell me about your old bikes. Or bikes that you maybe just haven't ridden for a while and they're just sitting in the shed with the deflated tires. Bike blogger here. On my way to work. Today's topic. Old bikes. Old bikes. Be real careful here. Big blind spot. Okay. Yeah, old bikes. I only have 2 main bikes right now. I do have a 3rd bike. What is going on? Okay. I just got distracted there for a second because there was a pickup truck. I don't know if it was in the frame of the video. He just made a U-turn in the intersection right there. It kind of threw me off. Anyway, old bikes. That's today's topic. Let's just go through them in order really here. The current bike I'm riding is a quote-unquote replica of my first bike I used to commute with. It's a Wabi Lightning SE, a single-speed bike. Probably my favorite bike. It's steel framed, and there's not, I guess, a lot else to say about it. I got these bullhorn handlebars on it. They're my favorite type of handlebar. They kind of stretch you out a little more. Kind of like a base bar on a aero bike, I guess, or we call it a time trial bike, TT bike. Okay, just people going all over the place. This is a one-way street and that guy's going the wrong way. One of the most annoying things is drivers who complain about bicyclists, you know, not following the rules of the road or something, and then you see cars do it all the time. It's totally not fair to single out people for, you know, breaking the rules and not following the letter of the law. Because, you know, it's just personality. That's really what it is. It's not any particular group. It's just some people don't follow the rules, some people bend them, and I'm getting off on a rant here. Back on topic. So yeah, I got these bullhorn handlebars with bar end brake levers. So that's why you can see them in the frame, because my handlebars stick out a little further than normal drop bars. Okay, line ourselves up here. So yeah, I got in a crash with a car on my original bike, this bike here, but you know, with the original frame on it. And now I was making a left at an intersection. Let's see. There we go. I knew it was coming soon. We gotta look really close hard. Look both ways when you're crossing, because just because you got a green light does not mean you have the right of way. I'll post a link to the video where I had my crash with a car, but I'm sure most of you have already seen it. Kind of scary. I must say I am happy I had my camera with me and caught the video, because there isn't a lot of good video out there proving that, you know, motorists can be really reckless against bicyclists, you know. There's always a lot of motorists are like, oh, bikes they're horrible, bikers. But now there's a lot of reckless people out there, and it comes down to personality, like I said. You can't single out a single group. Another reason I have these handlebars is because I usually ride kind of on the ends of them, and here comes a street plate, and I can stick my hand out like this. Another street plate. Oh, this is wonderful. It's just having to jump over these street plates. Oh, okay. It's getting ridiculous. I don't even know what the deal is. Why are all those street plates in the bike lane and nowhere else? Well, probably because all the utilities are in the bike lane, because utilities are usually kind of closer to the curb, especially if it's stormwater, because that's where the curb inlets are. Alright, I think we can get back over now. A reason I use these handlebars is I can hold on them like this, and that works for me because, let's wait for this guy. That works for me because years ago I fell off my bicycle, you know, going, you know, like 1 mile per hour. And I fell on my wrist, basically. I twisted my wrist really weird, and so I have a wrist injury. And I just find using these handlebars are more comfortable than other types of handlebars. Now I understand, especially like flat, you know, mountain bike handlebars. It's just not very comfortable for me. Now, yeah, you can change your position a lot. You know, move the angle around on the handlebar and stuff, but I just find these to be no problem at all for me. Similarly with drop style road handlebars, you can adjust where the hoods are. And I very much would recommend you do that, because you don't want to just injure your wrist just because you have the handlebars set up wrong. Anyway, that's also getting a little off topic. So yeah, we're on our way to work today, and going a different way. And we're loving it because we got the green light. But we're gonna slow down a little anyway, because I want to make sure I don't get hit again. Let's get over to the bike lane. Bike lanes are all right. If you know you're not crossing any driveways or something, but honestly, if this were a 2-lane road instead of this bike lane and one regular traffic lane, it'd be just as safe, because I'm telling you, it's very unlikely someone's gonna hit you coming up behind you. It's always good to have mirrors and stuff, but you know, where the danger is at is intersections. And my video of me getting hit by a car is a very good example of that. Don't, okay, what was that about? That SUV is turning left, going the other way, and he didn't even have a turn signal on. This guy's sticking out a little into the bike lane. Ah, complaining. So yeah, I don't like trusting people, you know, but all right, we're on the St. Louis County, or St. Louis Community College campus. I actually went here for a year or so, years ago. This is the St. Louis Community College, location at Forest Park. Yeah, so it's a 2-year college for getting what we call an associate's degree, or a little, like I guess if you'd say in terms of the cost, maybe like a step higher than a vocational degree or whatever, a technical degree. Although I guess it is kind of like a commuter college, a working man's college. So yeah, I went to this one for about a year. I've been to a lot of universities in the city, actually. I went to the University of Missouri, and I went to couple other campuses. Went to Washington University. Yeah, I've been around. I'm not that old though, but I did graduate from college in 2010. So you can do the math. Nice and quiet. There's nobody around. So yeah, old bikes. Tell me about your old bikes. Or bikes that you maybe just haven't ridden for a while and they're just sitting in the shed with the deflated tires. But tell me some stories about them, you know? Your favorite moments, or what drew you to get a new bike because you were sick of your old bike, or what did you not like? What did you like about your old bike? Do you wish you still had your old bike if you got rid of it? Memories. Let's make a right, yeah? So we're on Mackland or something like that. Okay, so I was gonna go straight, but there's a train. There's a train. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hopefully the train is almost done going by here. This is a really wide lane, so I can move over a little. Don't want to get too close to the gutter. We got a green light, but like I said, I want to go straight, and there's a train. And I don't know of a bridge. I guess I could go down to Kings Highway and cross the bridge there. It's kind of out of my way though. I'm gonna get over. Well, hopefully the train's gonna pass soon. So yeah, anything else about this bike, the Wabi Lightning SE? I got, you know, aftermarket parts on it just because. I got the original wheel set on this bike. They're a little heavier than those fancier wheels. Alright, it's clear. Well, I guess we can make a left here. Let's go exploring while we wait. Going through the industrial district, warehouse district. Hope I don't get mauled by a pack of dogs. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. I've never gone this way before. But that's the fun of it, you know, we're exploring. And I think we're just reaching private property here, so I'm gonna turn around. Sorry guys, no more exploring. Oh, what's around the corner? I wanna know what's around the corner. It's just a truck, okay. Just a dock. All right, oh, I see the train to my left. The train's stopped now on the tracks, and I see a guy backing up there. Well, this didn't work today, so we're going to we're gonna have to turn around and oh, what am I thinking? I think sublet or whatever it's called, just like one street over. I believe the train goes on a bridge over top of the road, so we could go under the train. Oh man. Well, we're making this video longer than it has to be, but I hope that doesn't scare any of you all away. Let's turn around here. The train is completely stopped. Okay. We'll make a left here. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. I wanted to go straight because I don't usually go straight here, but now I guess I know why, because there's no bridge or anything to get up past the train. There's a fire engine truck, fire truck. right, here we go. Try again. There's a lot of train tracks around here. Just to my left, there's some train tracks, different tracks. Okay. Let the bike go. The other biker, the motorcyclist, motorbiker. Alright, whatever. Anything else about this bike? No, I don't really think so. We're gonna need to get in the left turn lane here. So let's wait for one more guy. Yeah, let's make a left here. Oh, you kidding me? That's right. There, like I said, there are a lot of train tracks around here. There's the train again. Urgh. Yeah, there's train tracks here. There's train tracks directly behind me, and there's more train tracks. What's the fire truck doing down over there? It's like he's backing up or something. And the train is completely stopped, so I don't know what those guys are doing behind me. Unfortunately, this light is not going to change for me because the thing's not operating correctly. There's no cars that are waiting behind me. Okay, so this might be a shorter video because I can't go left. The train is stopped on the tracks. All right, the next bike I got for my since I started this YouTube channel was my Diamondback Haanjo Comp. It was a an adventure bike, as they call it. It was like a cross between it's like a hybrid bike and a cyclocross bike. Not quite as aggressive of a, you know, stretching you out as a cyclocross bike, but it's what they call now gravel bikes or adventure bikes. I kind of got it before that was really a big thing, taking off the whole gravel bike thing. But excellent bike for commuting on. Disc brakes work really good even when it's wet outside. Can we go left here? No. Yeah, those train tracks are level with the road. There's like no spot where they where the train goes above or below the road there. So we're just gonna have to go all this way. That's all right. Whew. So yeah, that bike, one of my favorite bikes. It was a heavy bike compared to my bikes I have today, but it had fenders on it, and it had disc brakes, so things start to add up. It was an aluminum bike. Really a really cool bike. My first really nice multi-speed bike I ever bought. And then I converted it to single speed. So I think throughout this YouTube channel, it was always pretty much a single speed conversion bike. I just found the right chain length, and then I didn't have to use a chain tensioner. But when you don't use a chain tensioner, you need to replace your chain more often, like every few hundred miles. So that can get annoying and kind of expensive. But I didn't really want to run a chain tensioner. And yeah, my gear ratio was 52 divided by 19, so like about 2.75. Right now I'm really only running like 2.66 because I got a 52-tooth chain ring up front and a 20-tooth freewheel in the back on this single speed bike, so it's a little easier. Woo! A little windy out here. Watch the door zone. I'm trying to figure out what that FedEx guy's doing up there. He was kind of driving in the bike lane. Not really supposed to do that, but whatever. So yeah, that bike was one of my favorite bikes. I really liked that bike. It was an awesome bike. But I decided to downsize and I got rid of it. I usually ride with a, you know, at least a rear fender to cover my butt. But I kind of just suck it up nowadays and just let my bike get really messy and let myself just get all messy. And just change clothes when I get to work. And that's just kind of the way I do it now. And it seems to be working all right. I think it's also because it just, I don't know. Some years are different than other years. Some years it just seems like it's an ongoing, you know, drought. We just don't have any rain to deal with. So, the problem with that is if it doesn't rain very often, the roads will get very dirty. So then when it finally does rain, the muck on the ground is really nasty. So yeah, that Diamondback Haanjo comp, kind of a cyclocross bike. The ultimate commuter bike, maybe. I think at least one other fan, or one other viewer of the BikeBlogger channel owns or had owned one of those bikes. Very nice bikes. Diamondback isn't, you know, a super high-end brand, but it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? I think you get what you pay for, and if you want to pay a little less for branding, all power to you. Akadaka. Well, let's make a right here. Let's see, what's the next bike? I think my next bike I got. Okay, well, let's just, you know, why did I get the single speed bike? Well, that's a good question. Let's do not enter. Let's go this way. I originally got this single speed bike because I think I felt that all I really needed was a single speed. And I've known in the past, when I've had multi-speed bikes, I just never really shifted very much. You know, like maybe I shifted a couple of gears, but that was it. Okay. Well, we're a bicycle, we can get through. The advantages of riding your bike to work. So the third bike I got, or well, I got the multi-speed bike because I just wanted to give multi-speed a chance again with that Diamondback Haanjo comp. But the third bike I got was a Motobecane Fixie Cafe CF. I just wanted basically a backup bike, a backup single-speed bike to ride during the winter, so I didn't mess up this bike. And then I got wise to that, and I was like, eh, screw it. I'll just use this bike all winter. Just gotta clean it more. You know, oil the chain. So that's pretty much what happened with that. But having multiple bikes is kind of cool because you can have different handlebars on each bike, and it definitely, well, at least I think it definitely makes the ride feel a lot different. Just like the geometry of a bike can make it feel a lot different. If you change the controls, it feels a lot different. And another thing is I used to always ride clipless pedals. I don't do that anymore. You know, needing the bike shoes. I just ride with flats, and seems perfectly fine. Seems like I can't go up the hills and put out as much power, but in my opinion, you really shouldn't be pulling up on the pedals you know, the way that clipless can kind of teach you to do. You really should be kind of, you know, like scraping your foot back and pulling up the pedals that way. I feel like it's probably bad for your knees, especially if you're riding a single speed and you're not able to gear down, to be pulling up on clipless pedals, climbing hills. I could be totally wrong, but it just seemed like that's the type of stress you probably is not very natural to your body. I don't know. Maybe someone can correct me on that. Man, we're almost to work now. We gotta speed it up because I got a lot of there's no stop sign here. I got a lot of bikes. So the fourth bike I had, oh, I totally skipped over my first bike actually. I had it, you know, when I started commuting, but I didn't really start filming with it. Only used it really for the Katy Trail, rail to trail sort of videos. That was the GMC Denali, Amazon bike by Kent. I think they used to give it away when you bought an SUV, a GMC Denali or whatever. That was cool. It got me through. It got me started. You know, it was I think it was 150 bucks when I bought it, and now it's like, I don't know, make a left. Now I think it's like 250 or 300. You know, crazy inflation or whatever. I don't know. That was years ago when I bought it though. I also had a $50 Magna bike or whatever when I was in college. It was basically a hybrid, more of a mountain bike. You know, the gears never worked, which is probably why I have such a affinity to multi-speed bikes, is because I've had so many cheap multi-speed bikes in the past, and the shifting just was not very clean and smooth. You can only get it so good. Nowadays, you can get a cheap bike with gears on it that's actually quite a bit better. The technology's gotten better, and I don't know, they just stopped selling as much junk. Anyway. So yeah, that was that, and then another bike I bought was a used bike, a 2000, I think it was a 2004 Le Mans Poprad, a true cyclocross bike, made out of Reynolds 725 or whatever, you know, kind of a nicer, lighter weight steel. Alright, here we go. So that was pretty cool. I think one of my problems with that bike, I had a down tube shifter on it because I wanted a down tube shifter. I think one of the things I did not like about that bike is that I just don't think it really fit me right. I kept trying to change things around and I just couldn't get the fit right. So sometimes you just don't figure that out till way after the fact. Let's make a left here. Well, let's speed it up a little before the light goes red. So I'm gonna have links to videos showing off each of these bikes. Make a right here. Oh, that green SUV, it just sped through the stop sign. It did not stop at all. Oh, look at that crazy car. Maybe I'll put that at the as my thumbnail or something. Problem is, it doesn't even doesn't relate at all to the topic. Okay. This is why you don't ride your bike through a parking lot. The survey guy over there, maybe they're gonna finally pave this parking lot or something. I don't know. It's a really beat up parking lot. I don't even know who owns it, if it's the brewery to my left or what. I hope I'm not forgetting a bike. You know, more recently I got an Eastway Emitter R1. Alright, let's just... Okay, screw it. Let's just ride the sidewalk for a second. All those people are going into that parking lot. Look what they're doing to the road there. Dang. And that has a Di2 Shimano. I still have the bike. I converted it to 3-speed though, so. And then the final bike is my Surly cross check. More about that later. I've really tinkered with that bike. I think you guys will be interested to see what I did to it though. So anyway, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Whew.